The bye-bye man needs to go bye-bye. Hello everyone and welcome to Movie Reviews by Josh. My name is Josh Terry and today I'm talking about The Bye-Bye Man, which is a horror movie released in January, which based on my limited experience is kind of a bad sign. And in this case, it lives up to the trend. The concept behind The Bye-Bye Man is kind of similar to a really, really nasty Beetlejuice character. You know, Beetlejuice, remember, you would call him into reality when you'd say his name 3 times. With The Bye-Bye Man, all you have to do is say his name once, which is why one of the repeated mantras throughout the movie is, don't think it, don't say it. My advice, don't watch it, because that might just be the easiest way to bypass the problem. But if you're watching the video, if you're interested, let's talk about The Bye-Bye Man. Okay, so after a brief prologue, which I won't bother telling you about because it's not really that worthwhile, we find ourselves in a huge, very, very fancy but kind of abandoned type home I want to say they're in Wisconsin. They're in a college town, and I say they because there are 3 college students who somehow are able to afford to rent this place. There's a guy who's kind of skinny and he wants to be a writer. I can't remember the character names. His girlfriend, who is way too attractive for him, is living there in the house, the huge house with him. And then they have their third friend, who is the guy's best friend, and he's pretty much like a borderline, fashion model, which is a bad thing to do if you have jealousy issues and you're kind of a skinny and not really a manly man. But anyway, we'll get to that later. So anyway, these guys are in their house and all of a sudden weird stuff starts happening. And they have a seance because that's what they do in these kind of movies. And there's a nightstand that was left with the house, and it has all this scratchy little writing in it that says, don't say it, don't think it, don't say it, don't think it. And then of course, you pull up a part of the nightstand and it says the Bye-Bye Man, right? And so in the seance, they say the Bye-Bye Man. The Bye-Bye Man is released. All these awful things start happening, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty predictable. It's just kind of the same old, same old. The premise is very, very simple. They've released this demon, and is the demon going to get the kids, or are the kids going to get rid of the demon? Do we care? Does it matter? Probably not. The thing that's actually more interesting about this movie is how they managed to get some actual, legitimate actor cameos, seriously, in the 3rd act of the movie, because this movie goes along for a good hour or more with just kind of its core cast, and it's, just kind of unknown actors who are trying to break into the business, and that's why they're kind of in a low-budget horror movie, that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, Carrie-Anne shows up as a police officer who is very kind of unconvincing, and it seems like she's saying her lines like, I don't believe I'm really saying these things. You're like an hour into this thing, and all of a sudden, hey, that's Carrie-Anne Moss. Why is Carrie-Anne Moss in this movie? And she has a look on her face that says, I don't know why I'm in this movie. But yeah, and then about 10 minutes after Carrie-Anne Moss shows up, Faye Dunaway shows up. And obviously they're trying to put these actresses in there because they think that it's going to add credibility and weight and legitimacy. But you're really sitting there in the audience going, why is Faye Dunaway in this movie? You're not really thinking about anything Faye Dunaway is saying, and it doesn't really matter. So anyway, long story short, The Bye-Bye Man is a January horror movie. It is what it is. If you have to get out of the house and you have to go see something scary, you're going to be disappointed because it's not that scary. I mean, this is a 1.5 star movie. You give them credit for trying, but honestly, at least as far as I'm concerned, trying is not enough to justify paying full price for a movie ticket. So maybe see it at a dollar theater, maybe find it on Netflix somewhere. But honestly, if it comes to that, there are just better options out there. The Bye-Bye Man is a horror movie, and it is meant to scare and frighten you. It's PG-13, which means you can pretty much predict the kind of content that's going to be there in terms of gore and violence and some mild sexual content and some profanity. Nothing that's really pushing the limits. I didn't watch this and think, oh my gosh, this should have been an R-rated movie. No, it's a pretty standard PG-13 for this kind of genre. So thanks again for watching. We appreciate you taking the time to watch our videos. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe and keep your notifications on so that you can find out as soon as the new videos are posted.